Birth is the first, most beautiful element of life. It's the start to a whole new beginning and the creation of one's existence. The idea of even having a baby may tend to be the last thought in someone's mind, or maybe even a burden. However, most people are willing to give up their childless lives, which is one of the most unselfish acts a woman can do for herself. For Donna Nunnery, her daughter Nicole Nunnery was a gift, but was it a gift she'd be able to keep? Miss Nunnery has had a long and hard time through her life, through the issues with her family, the upbringing of her having to raise her daughter on her own, thus working endlessly to pay bills on time. However, the toughest has to be the mental illness that Donna has to endure and live with today and continuously for the rest of her life. Donna has had a long struggle coping with reality, in the sense that hallucinations and delusions have consumed her life, as well as her own well-being. With this being said, she has the lifelong mental illness that is known as schizophrenia. Schizophrenia is a hopeless derailment from reality, and the inability for normal-minded thinking. This is Donna's story, through an interview which I recently conducted. We will go through a series of questions that are involved with the single mother, who deals with schizophrenia on her own, along with the daughter and Nicole's mother, who is still currently in the mother's life. As we further into the interview, I will point out some of the symptoms she shows, such as negative and positive types of symptoms. These types of symptoms were discovered by a Swiss psychiatrist by the name of Eugen Buehler. Positive symptoms entail subjective experiences such as types of hallucinations, which are normally auditory or hearing, delusions, such as through thought disorders, which are unusual or dysfunctional ways of thinking, and ideals that might seem random or bizarre, along with movement disorders that could be described on many different extremes. One being that a person with schizophrenia may repeat certain motions over and over, or show troubled body movements. Another could be a catatonic state, where a person becomes motionless and unresponsive to others. Whereas in negative symptoms, these types of symptoms show different disturbances to normal emotions and behaviors, such as a flat affect, which could basically be described as a lifeless state in a person's face and tone, a lack of pleasure, and the inability to begin or keep up with planned activities. Like negative symptoms, cognitive symptoms show poor abilities to understand information and use it to make decisions, troubled focusing or paying attention, as well as problems with using information previously learned. Within the history of schizophrenia, both Buehler and a man by the name Emil Kraepelin, who later had good intentions of helping us discover schizophrenia, later helped us subdivide schizophrenia into categories which are now known as disorganized, catatonic, paranoid, residual, and undifferentiated schizophrenia. We will be exploring the subtype of paranoid schizophrenia, which my interviewer experiences. This subtype is a lot similar to its big brother term, schizophrenia, whereas paranoid schizophrenia shows problems with memory, concentration, or dulled emotions. However, this may be a better type of schizophrenia because the person has the ability to think and live a functional life more so than the other types of schizophrenia. Through this interview, I hope to spread an informative message to show that people can in fact live at a livable level with disorders like schizophrenia, even if they have other responsibilities, such as taking care of a daughter. Through this interview, I wanted to show the relationship between a mother and her daughter, from both their views, and how much schizophrenia can impact the lives as one. Some people feel that when one must be faced with such a disorder, it only affects the person that has the problem. In actuality, the struggles and hardships that the person living with the illness, like schizophrenia, affects the whole family. I did this by including each generation. The mother of the schizophrenic daughter, that is also the grandmother of the daughter of the schizophrenic mother. I felt this was necessary because it would help us be able to tie all the information together completely. Whereas some information Donna would not be able to express, and the other situations where Nicole was much too young to recall. As a result, this video would shed some light from a mother's perspective of her own story of schizophrenia, as well as through the daughter's story. Luckily for Nicole Nunnery, she had a lot of support and help through her mother's illness from her grandmother, Lorraine Nunnery. At times, it may have seemed like the grandmother sheltered the daughter too much. However, she knew it was for her own good, for both the mother and daughter. As we saw in this interview, Donna had a mix of both auditory and visual hallucinations through her episodes, along with many types of delusions that may not completely fall under paranoid schizophrenia. This personally made me feel like she could have been diagnosed with the undifferentiated subtype of schizophrenia as well. Donna felt that biological explanations of genetics had a lot to do with her mental illness. But I think stressors and social cultural events leading up to her illness also may have triggered it, such as discussed in the interview about the daughter Nicole leaving for college. Through Nicole's life from much earlier on, Nicole did not understand the conditions of her mother's illness, so she showed resentment. Later on, this buildup of hatred became something more. Through the loss of time and memories that Nicole could not have treasured with her mom, she began to search and run away from the ideals of her unperfected family. Oddly enough, the mother's illness later uplifted Nicole. She began to see how much of a struggle this disorder was for her mother. Hopeful and positive, Nicole continues to see through that her mother has become a better person and is able to show realistic feelings, and that through the right kind of medicines and not a pill-happy doctor, but instead doctors who take the time with their patients, she feels that their family can stay one in the same reality. From the discussion with Donna's mother, she believed that no matter how unrealistic and mean Donna became through her daughter's schizophrenia, that her daughter was not in her right mind, and that the real Donna would never do or say these nasty and negative things to her and her family, much like a nurturing mother would think. I believe this mindset would be what kept the family together until the right treatment was found for her daughter. Finally, we must believe that people can get better to the point of living out their life as healthy as they can, even if it involves treatments like antipsychotic drugs. Without treatments like these, like Donna says, she would begin to hear voices again, along with other hallucinations and delusions, even under the circumstances of the illness the mother faces. Nicole learned the hard way, Donna is her mother, and she loves her daughter very much. I believe the message from this video should be shared, and that Donna's story is so insightful that it even inspired her daughter to be as strong and as independent as she is today. And that even if the daughter one day is diagnosed with this illness, she will have the guidance of her loving mother. Donna always knew she had a daughter, but now she can act on it and show that she loves her daughter, whereas before she couldn't. Now they both can share memories, the bond, and the family life like the daughter once wanted. This is what motherhood schizophrenia looks like. Doesn't look that much different than my family or your family, does it?